Hey world builders, welcome to my little Saturday chat. Let's talk about Shelush, my new brainchild world building project that I have been posting a couple of build togethers lately on. So Shelush is all about two things, and that is the power of names and the number 3, or things that come in threes, which is basically everything on Shelush. Now, Atovia is the main project that I work on, but it exists in a wider universe known as Ulvad, which is the only singular universe. There is not a multiverse in the Atovia setting concept. There is a whole reason for this, and it is up on my wiki if you're interested. Now, Shelush is in the Adamas galaxy, same galaxy, but in a completely different solar system, quite a ways away from Atovia itself, the planet. The reason Shelush is interesting is that it was found by 3 Abaci as opposed to 1, and they had an ember of the Tree of Time so they could create sentience, and they created a very large chrysalis, the largest any Abaci has ever created, because it was made up of 3 of them as opposed to 1, and so they can reproduce very quickly, shunting off chunks of the chrysalis as a new Abaci to find and populate the universe further. Now, what these 3 Abaci had to come to was sort of a deal, and each one of them, if they decided or found or thought of an interesting idea, the other 2 got a crack at it. And so everything on Shelush sort of comes in threes. There are 3 ancestries that are very different from one another, and there are 3 of like a dog-like creature, and there are 3 of a bird-like creature, and there is actually a surprising lack of diversity in certain areas because you only really get 3, and then the Abaci will get on to each other a little bit if they try to do something that's a little bit too close to something the other 2 have already done. Then, of course, you have the power of names. Now, because there are 3 Abaci and the world stone of Shelush is so large, meta is extremely dense here. Now, this means that knowing too much about something or someone forms a connection and tether with them very quickly, which can be volatile for your soul. And so every soul-bearing entity has 3 names, and that is a front name, a strong name, and a soul name. And I've already talked about this a little bit in a previous video, and that will be the related video on this video for all platforms that support that. But front names are for a lot of things, for cities, for animals, for pets, for important objects that you want to kind of keep from being easily tethered to other people that learn the strong name of that thing. And so front names are very obvious. For example, you have a city with a lot of skyscrapers, you call it Place of Great Reaching Heights. And this is the front name that anyone who knows of the place will know, most likely, or can share with one another. And then the strong name would be something else, something more important to the people that live there, that when they gain citizenship, they actually learn. Now, I could talk about this for a lot longer, but I do not have the time, unfortunately, in this video, and I appreciate you for listening. If you made it all the way here, thanks for stopping in for this Saturday chat. I hope you have a wonderful Saturday, or whatever day it is that you are watching this. Goodbye.